And good afternoon. It's now 3 minutes after 3 o'clock on Wednesday, the 9th of November, 2011. You guys out there listening, you girls out there listening, do you want to lose weight fast, get rich quick, do you want to look young forever? I know I do. I know how to as well. Just listen to the Laura Dion-Jones Show every Wednesday afternoon here on AM 1410 WRMN. Speaking of looking fantastic, Laura Dion-Jones, how you doing today?
I'm incredible.
Yes, you look incredible. You sound incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Credible like the incredible edible egg.
Now, did you experience the change in the weather from when you left Chicago, whatever time it was, till when you got here? Did it drop like 20, 25 degrees and get windier?
I got off 90 at 31, and it said 37 degrees on my car thermometer. 37 degrees.
Came through pretty quickly.
Whew.
Yeah.
And then by the time I pulled up in front here to park, it was 40 degrees.
Oh.
So, heat wave.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
Got anything on your mind?
I always got something on my mind.
Me too. I got lots, but I have a few rants, but today's so jam-packed, we'll have to save them for next week. Okay. I got a couple of good ones, but maybe we could squeeze them in at the end, but I don't know.
So you just wanted to tease us?
Kind of, sort of.
Okay, that's fine.
First, before we go on, I want to know what kind of junk food did you fall face first into this week?
Really?
Yeah.
You're really going to ask me that question? I fell face first into celery sticks.
That's good.
I had some celery sticks, and I fell face first into, a box of wine. Well, you asked, and I'm telling you. That was a box of wine and some celery sticks.
Washed them down with celery sticks.
That was pretty much my weekend, yeah.
Well, at least you didn't OD on the cheese puffs like last week.
No,
a box is healthier in a bottle, isn't it?
Yeah.
So well done.
Are you doing any walking? I noticed you have your walking shoes on again today.
I've been doing plenty of walking. I seriously have.
You look like your face looks thinner.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. This shirt I'm wearing today was a shirt I got 4 years ago. It used to not fit me.
Ooh.
I actually got the buttons to actually fit around to each other because I know I've lost a few pounds.
You have, I can tell, and those buttons are not straining.
They are. I mean, they are. But what I've noticed, we've talked about this many times, especially when we're talking about Clara Leos, when I'm slumping down like I normally do in this chair, the buttons are stressed. If I use my posture and sit up straight,
core strength,
it's
baby.
a little bit loose.
Yeah, see?
It's a little loose. So it's helping me sit up straighter by wearing this extra small shirt.
The buttons thank you for that.
His shirt thanks him for that.
Right. Yeah.
Jeff, you're right in range if one pops off.
No!
Yeah,
right
just so you're aware.
So listen, a couple of sad things here. Fashion icon and Yves Saint Laurent muse, Lulu de la Falaise, she just passed away recently after a long illness, and she was Yves Saint Laurent's probably number one muse, and I remember her from when I was little. So 1948 to 2011, so how old is she? 63 after a long illness, gasp.
Oof.
And Andy Rooney, how about just days after he retired? Do we know if he was sick or what?
He had some minor surgery. As it turned out, that last segment he was on was in October, but they recorded it on August 23rd, so he actually lasted a few more weeks than we actually saw on TV. But they never disclosed it, did they, Button Man there?
I'm still waiting to hear.
But it was a small, minor surgery, and they had complications from that.
And then also Joe Frazier bit the dust at the tender age of 67.
Yeah, that hit me hard.
And me too. And then they say everything comes in threes, and I think the third is Joe Paterno retiring.
Well, I think he announced it almost today, so I think it'll probably happen.
Yeah.
They're really suggesting that today.
Yeah, it's a shame.
And he is 84 no matter what. I mean, that could have happened even without the most recent tidbit of news. But
how long's he been coach over there?
Oh, gosh, forever.
You know that.
Probably he must have started in the somewhere around the late 60s, I would guess. I'm not sure how many years at Pennsylvania State University. Happy Valley, Pennsylvania.
Well, you know what? It just goes to show you, like I always say, live for today, but plan for tomorrow, yeah?
But even if he should retire, I mean, he's had a great career.
Oh,
I mean, his body's given out a little bit. He got hit by a player, in an accident in the game.
He looks a little frail to me.
A little bit. So to make it through this year was a success, I think.
Well, and helping us plan for a healthier tomorrow, our special guests today are Tony Horton, the originator of P90X, the #1 hottest fitness video program in the world. And he's going to be talking fitness and getting ready for the holidays and the new year. And then joining us in our second half is Alex Skelton. I wonder if he's related to Red.
Oh, good night.
Let's ask him.
And may God bless. Good night.
And he's from, guess where he's from? All the way from Nottingham in the good old UK. And he's going to be here to tell us about incredible new stationary bike that is a fitness training bike called the Watt, W-A-T-T bike. Seriously, it's awesome. So stay right.
Are you calling England? Is he calling here?
Yes.
Ooh, that's great.
We sent the jet.
Dial O. Yeah.
We sent the jet. Stay right where you are and don't touch that radio dial, because in the studio with us today are Mike Hunziker, my great guy pal, loyal sidekick, trusty boardman, Jeff Myers, my wonderful co-host, and of course, what would our show be without our very favorite YouTube camera girl, none other than Valerie the Swan. And have you gone to YouTube to see yourself waving into the camera like that? Cute. You must. So stick around, kids. We've got a whole lot of interesting talking lined up for you today. You're listening to the Laura Dion-Jones Show on WRMN 1410 AM, and meanwhile, back at the WRMN Ranch.
Dr. Claire Leyes, I saw her at the Elgin Sports Hall of Fame. She was in her running shoes. It was an athletic event, 5 new inductees into the Sports Hall of Fame. They got the Wall of Fame now at the Center of Elgin, as you know. This took place at the Heritage Ballroom, 250 folks there.
Thanks for letting me know.
Looked great. Well, it was Sunday. Mm-hmm. Buttons knew, didn't you? That's our new nickname for him.
Hey, Buttons.
Yeah. Hey, Buttons, where were you? But it was wonderful, and Dr. Claire, of course, being the great athlete she is, was in good company. She's a 2001 Larkin. She's your chiropractic person all the way. Diva, your posture, if you will. Camera person? There you go. Perfect posture. So check in with Dr. Claire for that. One quick note, this upcoming Saturday is a wonderful event. Right up here, up the street a little bit, the YWCA's Cindy's Super Sale is taking place. This is in conjunction. Just $25 will get you in. It takes place from 11 to 3 on this upcoming Saturday at the Y. This is all the great gowns. Well, you gave some of those gowns, didn't you? $25 to get in. You've got, I saw the selections, hundreds of gowns, all colors, all events.
Mind-blowing.
It is.
Bridal.
All
everything.
In the former pool up
yes.
there. Have you seen that?
Yeah, so, that breaks my heart, though, because I'm a swimmer. But go ahead.
Yeah, so check that out, and it's right there at 742-7930 if you want some information about that 847 area code. If you're listening live in 11 to 3 this upcoming Saturday, the dress of your dreams.
Buttons.
Right. Buttons.
And we'd also like to thank snobhounds.com, a canine clothing company. Think
it's a good hair name, I think.
Karen.
Buttons in the morning. I like it.
For canines, and Snobhounds is true environmental protection wear. And would also like to thank Casey Tool, an automotive specialty tool company available through your Snap-on mobile tool distributor. And a very special thank you to Casey for making this show and all of our shows possible. I'm going to be rambling now and rolling along because we just have 5 minutes before Tony Horton shows up. Mm-hmm. So it's time for Laura's Motivational Minute with the quote of the week. This one's a real hard one, man. I don't know if you're going to get this one.
As opposed to normal weeks.
When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves.
Ooh. Orson Welles. What do you think, Mr. Buttons?
That's a good question.
This is a hard one. His name is Viktor Frankl. He's a PhD. He is a neurologist, a psychiatrist, an Austrian Holocaust survivor.
Wow.
And he is the author of a very famous book, psychology book called Man's Search for Meaning. Are you looking him up? Frankl, F-R-A-N-K-L. Victor,
no.
V-I-K-T-O-R, Victor. I don't know if you know this or not, but recently I've been having various issues with my feet. Hips, legs, and lower back, and they're keeping me
You
from...
personally?
Yeah, they're keeping me from doing my hour of daily cardio walking. So
is that because of the knee?
Well, it's because now for the first time in 20 years I have 2 straight knees, 2 straight legs, and it has thrown everything off. So pelvis, hips, and it's now this chain
your
reaction.
Your body has to adjust to your knees?
And in case you haven't noticed, they got work to do. Dr. Claire's got her work cut out for her.
Uh-huh.
See? So now, if you didn't notice, I have the boot on my foot. I have a stress fracture, like on my left foot.
Plop your foot up there for the YouTube camera. Can you do that?
Oh, my God.
Can you do that? Well, there we go. Live on the radio. There it was. 1.1 second there for the camera. Did you see that? That's TV.
Then I also yanked my headphones out. But hey, anyway. So all this started shortly after my second knee replacement about 6 months ago. And the best advice I can give anyone out there to make sure that they do that daily cardio walk every day in comfort is to buy the finest pair of walking shoes they can afford. And for those of us who need tremendous stability, cushion, and comfort, I pulled my good pal in Baltimore, Doug Carusi, the marketing director of World Famous Halliburton Sports, and they are the largest sporting shoe store in the country, and I rate the styles he recommended for me to try and what I found with each style. And I did it in this week's motivational blog post on Boca Jump. So read the list of the top 5 walking shoes in this category that I personally road tested. Go to elgin.bocajump.com/blogs and read my walking shoe review titled New Walking Shoes for You. And when Mike Bailey, the editor of Boca Jump, saw it, he emailed me back and he said, I totally agree with you. Just bought a pair of New Balance and best money I ever spent and blah,
Right.
blah, blah. So
He's not
when
easy to please. Nice work.
Pardon?
He's not easy to please in all
Oh
cases.
my
Good
God, he
work.
loves my writing. You should
Well, I
see
mean,
the
I-
wonderful. He grades my papers A+ every
well,
week.
See? Very well.
I'm very proud to get his critiques. I
nice.
save every one of them. Oh, so anyway, back to our quote. Then when you think you're no longer able to change a situation, like your unhealthy, unwanted weight,
Buttons.
so I didn't say it, start by getting an absolutely terrific new pair of walking shoes and get going. That way you can challenge yourself to change yourself one step at a time. Remember, there is no excuse for staying fat and unhealthy. I'm sorry. Get that daily cardio walk in for the health of it. And now, our first guest is a worldwide inspiration to many. I'm nervous. My palms are sweaty.
Don't
This
be
guy's
nervous.
famous.
So are you.
His dream, thank you. His dream, much like mine, is to help the U.S. fight obesity, but on a bigger level. He also recently, listen to this, returned from his third Armed Forces entertainment tour in Europe, where he worked out with the troops. Lucky dog. You think he'll invite us to go next time? And we could do a remote from Afghanistan.
Well, it's a dream come true, isn't it?
Please let's give a warm LDJ welcome to none other than the one, the only Tony Horton, originator of the P90X program, the #1 hottest fitness video program in the universe. Tony,
In the universe. Wow.
are you
Yes.
there?
I am here, Laura. How are you? Yes, the universe. We've got folks from Mars and Jupiter, all kinds of creatures using P90X now.
That's what they told me. You're not going to believe what I have to tell you today. I mean, we want to hear all about you, but I got 2 surprises for you, pal.
I love surprises. What do you have for me?
Listen, you're a regular rock star in the fitness world, so give us a little of the 411 on your background before we get going.
Well, the quick 411, I was a 98-pound weakling. I lived on the East Coast. I wasn't that athletic. I had a speech impediment. I was a C- student, and I was looking to have ambition back in those days. But when I discovered exercise, I realized that it changed me mentally and emotionally. It gave me more energy and enthusiasm to take on the world, and I moved from the East Coast to California, and initially I was in survival mode, and then I started exercising. I joined a gym. We didn't have gyms on the East Coast. They were at a school, university or high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I joined a gym, and I just learned more about Pilates and yoga and weight training and cardiovascular exercise and intervals and core work and functional work. Over the course of the years, I kept learning more and discovering that more is better. Variety is the spice of fitness. And so I created Power 90 and then Power Half Hour and then P90X, of course, which is the biggest fitness product ever, apparently, which is kind of weird, but it's kind of fun. And now we're on to P90X2, which is going to launch here in December, so we're excited about that.
It's unbelievable. What does P90X mean? For
It's
those of
power-
us who, are new to this.
Well, there are 4 of you, so the 4 people, no, I'm playing. P90X is Power 90 Extreme. It's an in-home boot camp workout that you do in front of your TV set. So instead of going to the gym and flailing around on an elliptical machine or a treadmill or trying to use some of that equipment, you don't really know how to use them. The cool thing about P90X is there are 12 discs, and you use these 12 discs over the course of 3 months. And so you put one of them in and you try to keep up. The P90X works for people who are clinically obese. It works for grandmothers. It works for professional football players, hockey players, high school soccer players, teenagers, grandparents, everybody. Because what I do, which is I think a little atypical compared to a lot of other programs that are out there, I show you 3 different versions on how to do a particular exercise. So you'll have an extreme version. Obviously, that's where you're headed, hopefully, if you keep working hard. And then there's also a very, very modified version for people who can't do the extreme one. And then there's something in between usually for most folks. So when you're watching the workouts, you see the transition. You see 3 different people behind me, each one of them doing a particular exercise a different way. And so that's why somebody like a friend of mine, Jeremy Yost, who bought P90X, who weighed 370 pounds, a guy in his 40s who weighed 370 pounds, can do P90X and lose 180 pounds. And so, there's something for everybody, which is the reason why it's so popular.
No kidding. Listen, before we go on, I happen to have 2 very wonderful testimonials of sorts from very rabid fans of yours, and they're very good friends of mine, and I'd like to read them to you. Could you take it? You're going to love it.
Yeah, I could take it. Fire away.
Okay. I'm interested in what motivated Tony to put together the DVD. As an avid runner, I love how challenging the DVDs are. Most exercise DVDs that I've tried in the past are too easy. P90X really challenges you to give it your all. I love that it took me 6 weeks to be able to do all of the ab workout and that there are modifications so that I can keep challenging myself. I'm curious about the type of person or range of people he had in mind when he designed his workouts. Mostly I want to give him kudos for creating such a, can I say DAMN?
Yes, you can.
For creating such a damn hard series of workouts.
Yeah, girl, let it fly.
Bring it, Lisa Polderman, Berwyn, Illinois. And then here's another one. I want you to tell Tony that I love his workout. I weigh 160 pounds and have lost 75 pounds. But for the last year and a half, I have been doing kickboxing, and now I know that I was just conditioning for the P90X workout. It is intense, and it is hard, yet the modifications are great, and I can break a sweat, build endurance, and see my body change. I didn't lose much weight, but my body did change. It tightened, and I lost inches in the 2 months I did P90X faithfully. I also feel muscles and body parts hurt that I didn't know were there. Ask Tony why the yoga workout is so long. It's also very hard to sustain those poses. The ab ripper workout is my favorite. I really don't follow the diet piece, but I enjoy his workouts immensely. And that's Noemi Hernandez from Elgin, Illinois.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not surprised. I have to say, I was doing a piece yesterday in Santa Monica, California, with CNBC, and we were actually shooting footage of my old apartment. You know, where everything kind of started when I was just sort of experimenting. There's this little place in Santa Monica on the seedy part of town where I used to live. And this kid comes out, and we're shooting, and he just walks right up to me and he says, "Oh my God, I'm a triathlete, and I've been using P90X, and my swim is faster, I'm running faster." The program basically forced me to work on the types of things that I'm not very good at, and that's basically the reason why P90X works. It's the reason why it worked for these two folks that just wrote in. They were forced to do Ab Ripper X, a sequence of core and ab moves they have never done in succession before. And
say that again. Say that again. Let me register this. Say that again. Repeat that for us.
Well, they were forced to do the kinds of exercises they've never done before. So they were through the program. I asked them to work on their weaknesses. Typically, when people are doing something, I mean, it's always good. Getting on the elliptical, great. You're burning calories. You're moving. It's better than sitting on the couch, right? So,
sure.
Same thing with the treadmill. Same thing with weightlifting. But the thing about P90X is, it's everything. You know, we call it muscle confusion, but it's really, it was coined periodization training by Jack LaLanne years and years and years ago. It wasn't my idea. This is something that I didn't originate. It's just a more modern version of what Jack LaLanne was doing years ago. So you work on your strengths, you work on your weaknesses, you work on your upper body, your lower body, you do it cardiovascularly, you do it through yoga, you do it through stretching. And the reason why that yoga is 90 minutes long, it's because that's a traditional hatha vinyasa style yoga, and that's what I've known. That's what I've done for 15 years, and it takes 90 minutes for your body to really open up and really get the most out of yoga. And so both those people, they had tremendous results, and it was, for some folks it is weight loss. I mean, you look at Jeremy Yost, 180 pounds, Dallas
Sure.
Carter, 190 pounds. These folks had huge weight loss, but for others, for athletes, they might even gain 10, 15 pounds of muscle. It's really who you become in the end as a result of doing the program. It's not just a physical weight loss program so that you can look good in a dress at a wedding in front of a bunch of people who don't really care.
And then put it all back on.
Yeah, and you put it back on. If that's your only goal, if it's all about aesthetics and looks and your ego, chances are that your weight is going to go up and down. What I'm trying to tell people to do and what I'm teaching people is it's about your health, it's about your fitness, and it's about finding a method that works for you so that you can sustain that for the rest of your life. So you only get better with age. I'm 53, and I'm as strong as I've ever been. I can do things physically at my age now I could never do in my teens, 20s, 30s, and 40s.
No
Fun.
kidding.
Yeah.
So can you do that for like baby boomers and people that are kind of slipping into seniorhood?
Well, I am a baby boomer. I mean, you look at a lot of my friends that I knew in high school, and the wheels are coming off. This is the time. This is your last hurrah. In your 40s and 50s, you have to make a decision. You have to decide whether you're going to continue to go downhill, keep doing what you're doing, or doing nothing whatsoever, or you can make a choice. You can decide to focus on the only two things that you control, and that is what you put in your mouth and whether you move 5 to 7 days a week. If you continue to do nothing and you continue to eat fat, sugar, and salt through processed foods that come out of a box, bottle, can, and bag, then chances are you're going to make the last 20 years of your life kind of a living hell, and a lot of people have. If you're out there and you're listening to me right now, and you're in your teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, and you have parents and grandparents with health issues, guess what? They made you, and you will have their problems times 2 if you do not make a change. Most of us die not from something environmental, not from something genetic. We die from behavioral activity or lack thereof. So Jack LaLanne, God bless him, he just passed away at 96 years old. He outlived his father.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
I mean, his father passed away at 50 years old, and he outlived his father by half a century.
Jeez.
I mean, Jack wasn't supposed to live that long, but he made very succinct choices about what to do, and he worked out every day, and if man made it, he didn't need it, and that's why he lived like he did all the way up to the 96.
Do you think it was the exercise? Do you think it was his diet or everything?
He overtrained, that's why he died.
Huh?
No, absolutely. I mean, why am I able to do all the things that I can do at 53 when a lot of people my age can't do it? It's practice. It's showing up. Woody Allen said 80% of life is showing up. I say the other 20% is paying attention to what's happening to you while you're in the middle of what you're doing. And you're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days, but your only job is, we say at Beachbody when it comes to P90X, just push play. You take the disc, you put it in, and, you do what you can do. And you're going to have to modify things. You're going to have to hit that pause button. You're going to have to take breaks. And you're not going to do things perfectly. If you want to get in great shape and be healthy and be that way for the rest of your life, and you're a perfectionist, you're going to struggle.
Let me ask you something. You're selling me. You sold me. Would you do P90X in lieu of, say, cardio, like an hour of walking, an hour of rowing, something, or together?
Well, think about it. I mean, an elliptical is what? Repeating the same movement over and over.
Yeah,
and
I can't take
What
those.
is walking? Walking is repeat. I mean, we're human beings. We're supposed to walk. That shouldn't be exercise anymore for human beings. But because we've gotten so out of shape, because so many people are obese, we've actually turned something that we're supposed to be doing every single day into exercise. If you've got a lot of weight to lose and you're really struggling with, that's where you start. You start with a walking program. You put a couple of dumbbells in your hands and you find some hills and you start walking around. That's great. And if you don't have hills in your neighborhood, you don't walk, you get a treadmill or you go to a gym. That's where you start. But ultimately, if you want dramatic physical change that will last you for a lifetime, you've got to always push the envelope. You've got to always work on your weaknesses, and you've got to always be humble in the process. And that's how you change. A lot of folks, they'll have some initial weight loss, and they don't get their diet in control as well, and then they end up back where they were, and they end up a little bit older, and then it becomes even more difficult the next time around. So what I'm telling the folks is, it doesn't have to be P90X. I mean, we've sold close to 4 million copies because it works. It's your mom, it's your dad, it's the guy at work, it's your sister, it's your brother. I mean, it's somebody that you know that has done P90X. You just gave 2 stories of 2 gals that had, for the first time, dramatic physical and mental and emotional shift in their life as a result of committing to a program. It's not 20 days, it's not 45 days, it's 90 days. It takes that long for a lot of people, and for some it's 120. They get to that 90-day point and they say, you know what, I need another 30 days. I know somebody who did P90X 22 times in a row. It really depends on you. There's not a one-size-fits-all philosophy here. I'm not a guy who says you have to do yoga and you have to eat vegan. Okay, that'll appeal to 15 people. The idea here is to try to help as many people as possible. All right, you've got a 22-year-old marathoner. He's not going to have the same program as a mother of 5 who's 45 years old. 2 different people, 2 different ends of the spectrum. What they both do need to do, the one universal truth that applies to both of them is they have to do something 5 to 7 days a week, and they need to eat healthy food. That's universal truth there.
So after you get in shape with P90X, you just keep going. You just don't do it and get in shape and then stop, because then it's the same old yo-yo.
Well, yeah, I think one of the key things for people, if they really, motivation is the hardest thing. What do I need to do to stay motivated so I keep doing this for the rest of my life? If it's about how you want to look in the future, you will fail. You will absolutely fail. 99% of you will fail. I want to do this weight loss only program through eating food, or I want to do this program temporarily so I can look good at my family reunion. You will ultimately have short-term success, but you will fail in the end. The magic comes from when you change your reason why. Your reason why has to be, this is the reason why I work out sometimes 19, 20 days in a row. If I work out today, I don't have to wait for what's going to happen in the future. I will change my fitness today. If I work out today and eat right, I will affect my health in a positive way today. If I exercise 20 minutes or more today, I release norepinephrine, dopamine, serotonin, something known as brain-derived neurotropic factor. I know that sounds a little crazy, but these are chemicals that are inside of your brain waiting for you to move. When you work out hard, you take in oxygen, that oxygen goes into your brain, and those chemicals are released. My drug of choice, what makes me feel good, what gives me energy, is exercise. Every day I do not exercise, I don't get any of it. And I talked about it earlier.
I agree.
What are your parents and grandparents? What kind of shape are they in? Do they have that tray of pharmaceutical aids sitting on the counter in the kitchen or the bathroom? A lot of you know that exists. I don't want to have that tray in my house. I don't want to have it in my 60s, my 70s,
you
my 80s.
You take vitamins? You take supplements?
I'm not talking vitamins. I'm talking about high blood pressure medication, diabetes medication, those kinds of medications that you get from your pharmacist.
Sure.
We all have parents and grandparents with those, and I'm not going to have that in my life. It's the last thing I do. So it comes down for making that commitment. And you don't have to wait 30, 60, 90, 120 days. If you want to feel good today, you work out today.
I'm buying
If you don't want to feel good today, you skip it. Same thing with food. If you put fat, sugar, and salt, a Dorito has 40-something ingredients in it. Are you kidding me? A blueberry has 1. Kale has 1 ingredient. Salmon, 1 ingredient.
I get it now. I was told you eat very clean and just 1 ingredient, and I didn't understand what you meant. And now I get it. You know what? Can you give our listeners one really terrific holiday fitness tip? Because we're running out of time.
During the holidays, people have a tendency to say, you know what, this is my cheat time of year. For the next month and a half, I'm going to blow off my workouts. I'm going to start eating whatever. I would show up at a holiday party, full. Do not show up at a holiday party this season with an empty stomach because it is a disaster. I would say that's the most simple, basic tip. Eat the healthiest foods that you can, fill yourself up, and then go to the party. And if you want to have a glass of wine or something, great. Every time you drink a glass of wine, drink twice as big glass of water and rotate glass of wine, water, back and forth. That way, you get up the next day, you haven't consumed all those nasty calories, and you're not going to have a headache as a result of eating too many holiday cocktails. So those are my tips for the next month.
Those are excellent. Where can people find you?
Well, you can find me at TonyHortonsWorld.com. That's my own website. And, of course, you can go to Beachbody.com, and you can buy P90X, P90X2. You can buy anything from my library.
Do I get a discount on P90X because you're on my radio show?
Well, we can't really. Well, you know what? We'll get your address. I'll have my PR gal get your address, and we'll send you one for free.
Yippee! Then maybe I can report back. You can report back, and maybe
I would love to hear your story. I'm going to tell you that first 30 to 45 days, you're going to be cursing me left and right. You'll be saying more than damn. I'll tell you that much.
Thank you.
But on day 60, between day 60 and day 90, you will not believe the changes that you will have. You will feel great, you will look great, and you'll have worked on weaknesses and strengths, and that combination will change you, girlfriend. I am telling you.
I can't wait. I'm going to email you my address, and I'm going to be the P90X WRMN guinea pig over here.
Oh, I love it.
One thing I want to mention to everybody, Tony has a new book called Bring It from Rodale Books, and I think it'll make a very terrific Christmas gift and a companion to his P90X workout series. And got anything else you want to leave our listeners with?
Well, I'm really excited. I'm actually at Benstown Radio right now, and Benstown is working with me to create my Tony Horton Bring It Minute. So if you have a local radio station and you're a fan, whether it's satellite radio or your radio station, email them and demand that you want them to buy the Tony Horton Bring It Minute from Benstown. And it's really neat because we're a lot of radio stations now are finally waking up. It's fun, it's informative, it's motivating, and it's silly. I have a lot of humor in what I do, but also it's very powerful because it gives people vital tools for them to stay fit and stay healthy for the rest of their life. So go to your local radio station and demand, I want the Tony Horton Bring It Minute.
Tone, you're the bomb. Thanks for being such a wonderful guest. Thanks for coming on the Laura Dion-Jones show today.
I love you. I love what you do, and Heather will help solve some of these obesity issues in this healthcare crisis.
Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
All right.
We'll see you in a couple months.
You got it.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yippee, I'm getting a P90X from Tone himself. And just like that, it's halftime. So hold those thoughts, class, and we'll be right back in a moment to hear from our very next special guest.